circular tornado. Shoals, you don't know what's going to happen. The wind is literally circling right now. The ducks can't even fly. They went up to try and fly and got blown all over the place. It just circulates. You got water coming in from all sides. You got wind coming from all angles. This place, there's actually people here about 3 minutes ago. Oh, it was. Whenever you try and head down, and look up, just rolling all over the place. Look at that wind. Oh my God. Well, that's a perfect example of these shoals. You got wind tunnels from all directions. All right, ducks, buckle down. Holy cow, that came out of nowhere. So the bizarre part is, if you see those clouds moving fast to the left, I checked the radar, and the entire system and everything's supposed to be moving the exact opposite direction, which means those are underlying clouds, which means it's circling, which means the storm's coming. When the underside is circling towards you, and the upper side is circling away from you, that's like a vertical tornado, not a horizontal thing going on here. It's like a tire. It's revolving like a tire. Woo! Now, huge one. Huge. The thing I got to watch out for in this situation, as much as I like to paddle along the bank because you get out of the wind, well, you got to watch those big old trees coming down. I tell you what, this is when you're in a tube or some sort of inflatable, and you're down the river, I tell everybody, always bring a paddle. Always, a little tiny paddle, whatever you got. Floating down, and this kind of thing hit, it lifted them off the water, and as Aaron had flew a mile and a half up the river, I saw it in a tree the next weekend. He was just lifted off the water, he was dumped in the water. If you're in any kind of a floatable, even an inflatable kayak, you're on top, you're on the surface of the water. Look at that wind coming right at us, it's phenomenal. I'll tell you what though, these trees make me nervous. We're gonna get out from under these trees. Yeah, inflatable surface of the water, so you just got to be prepared for these kind of things. You're not going to be able to cut through the water. Of course, my boat has a pretty carved hull, and I'm able to cut through it pretty easily. Got a lot of weight to it, well, me. And my cooler. So this is, needless to say, the trek from Island Ford Shoals Rocks down to the Don White area. This particular section, just below the rocks, the last set of rocks, really turns into a wind tunnel, even if not in a storm. And you're going to start seeing, literally, like in an ocean, white caps. This was super calm and low an hour ago. But the white caps can develop, and what happens is the water current on the top level, the surface, will be blowing up here, 10 miles an hour, 10 knots. And then, a foot under the water, the river's moving at 3 knots down the river. But the wind gets the top surface moving up towards you, like that's what's happening right now. And I can already see the waves developing, white caps. Holy cow. So I wouldn't usually be doing this but it's not raining. And rain is not supposed to hit yet. It's a windstorm at the moment. I mean, it's got to be 30 knots, 50 knots right now. I'm paddling, I can't go anywhere. It's really blowing. Now I'm blowing right back up, even in my boat. This weighs about, with all the weight on here, it's probably 275. This thing is moving me up the river. At some point, I got to make a decision on whether I continue or just climb onto the island. Martin's Landing tennis court club, swimming pool club, and that's up here. That's a creek that you can climb into, and that might absolutely be the ticket at this moment. But if I do that, then I'm missing that window to get down, because the safety place is under Georgia 400, the bridge, under any conditions. And I could be down there, even with this kind of, I could be down there in like 30 minutes. We're going for it. Here comes the rain, but we're going to go for it. So buckle up. Ah, shoot. Man. I don't know, I might get under one of these trees if it gets even heavier than this. I might have to. Absolutely. I'll find a spot. I'm trying to get as far down as I can, or I'm just like forced to stop. Look at this. This is never, like, that happens so fast. We got the waves coming up the river. That's nuts. We got to get along the bank. Fortunately, it's blowing across from us here, which is good. Dang. I don't know. I think this is where we got to hang. Yeah. We're hanging here. There's protection here. Oh my God. Alright. The first thing I want to do is bungee up to something, because even though we're kind of up on the sandbank, it could get worse. So I got the bungee, and now we're bungeed up. Second thing, I'm going to pull out the umbrella, which can block the wind and the rain. How'd you like that for a little action? That was, whew. Spinning off you here. So that can happen fast, right? You just saw it. I was sitting out in the middle of the river, and I'm looking at the radar. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Knowing I can always, in minimal conditions, get down to the bridge and under it in 30 minutes. Well, that thing hit, and then you have, that scenario where you can see it's blowing. See, when it's blowing directly up the river against you, you're not going anywhere. Wow. Just another day. Storms come, you got to be ready. Got to, that's why when it comes to kayaking, you really got to be prepared. Always have a golf umbrella. In this case, because it slides right next to your seat. Easy. And if you have a sit-in kayak, that's why a sit-in is always important. You have storage. But the reason a golf umbrella extra large, it covers my entire cavity. So I'm completely, 98% covered here. Cords, like I've always mentioned, because you can tie up and secure yourself, like right here. I learned that lesson the hard way by a situation like this, and I didn't have the bungee cord, but I was backed up on a little muddy area. I felt secure. Well, when the storm hits, the water level started going up. When the water level went up, I got pushed out, and I was being moved around, and I wasn't secure anywhere. Well, now it's trying to suck me out into the storm. So just bring something, a rope, paracord, anything, but bungees are the best, and tie up to something. Of course, you want to have dry boxes. I was smoking a cigar when I decided to leave. Look at that rain. So everything's in a dry box right in front of me here. This is when I usually do smoke a cigar, just when I can't do anything, but I'm dry, which I am dry right now. I am perfectly dry. People, you just don't even understand. An hour ago, this was super low water, maybe 2 feet deep at the max. I came up, I paddled up this way, and it was sunny. There was actually no wind. And now it just looks like the Baltic Sea out there. Yeah, see, everything's been cool because it's just been wind and then rain, and you're going to hear my voice pretty calm in those situations. I can do that. But when I hear the thunder like I just did and the lightning, that's when I'm like, you know what? I wish I was under the bridge at Georgia 400. You hope you got some good trees above you, which it does look like I have decent trees. These trees fall down all the time. I just don't want to be here. I tell you what, if a tree were to fall down and squish me, you guys better jack up my subscribers. I gotta at least get more subscribers out of this, right? Hopefully I make it and then we can move on. We shall see. So, we have a little break in the action, but update you guys, I'm making a run for the bridge. I got about a half a mile, so I'm gonna have to let you go, but here's the situation. It calmed down just for a minute, but it's sort of like the eye of the storm. It's coming back strong. So we'll pick it up when I make the bridge, which is just right around the bend down there. All right. Be back to you when we get to the bridge.
All right. Well, we busted our butt to get down here. We're up there around the bend on the left side, and we made it to right here. And like I said, this is just the calm before it gets rough. I believe that's at least how it looks at first. That was crazy. It hit so fast. But we're here now. I'll be back with you in a second. By the way, look at these waterfalls. I've talked about this in other videos, but this is what I'm talking about. Look at these waterfalls that develop. I want to go to the other side. avoid the waterfalls to get in.
All right, we're back to the bridge now, under the bridge. We made it. Another thing you always want in your kayak is a shell of some sort of waterproof stuff, because we had to paddle through all that water. And this is pretty wild in here, because this is my safety place during the storm. But this wind is blowing all over the place. And I've mentioned this in other videos, how under this bridge, you get these crazy waterfalls. But if you're in the wrong spot where the wind is, you see the drain holes right here? And like this one just a minute ago just splattered me from a gust of wind coming up. You want to be out of the way. This is the best spot I can find right now, because I'm protected front and back. And I got a log, so I'm kind of in my own little cave right here. And of course, bungee cord, I've tied up, so I'm secure. I got protection for the most part from the winds. But like I just saw a lightning strike right over there. Like I said, the reason we took off is because I had a feeling this is like a 30-minute break we had there where it just rained a little bit. It rained a lot. But we paddled down here against the wind, and now I feel much better in here. In here, I'm just dealing with basically some rogue waterfalls, which who knows what will happen there. But I feel very good because, again, I'm blocking the wind here. I'm blocking the wind behind me, even on the side wind. And right now, my feeling is the storm is going to be coming in like that. So I feel pretty good about this. But then again, you look at these waterfalls right here. The wind is just hammering from this side over here. Right? So over here it's doing this. It's not doing that over there. Right? Those are falling straight down. So like I said, the wind and this, it's just been doing this. Lightning twice now. So, whew. It's the river life. Just want to be safe. All right, we'll be back.